Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rob Taylor. I'm with RiverStreet Networks. I'm out of the Danville office, and today we're here to announce the recent VATI awards. Let me first say that we were quite pleased that the governor selected the VATI application that we put together for Pittsylvania County as one of the awards that was announced yesterday. RiverStreet, in that application, we partnered with the West Piedmont PDC in Pittsylvania County to submit a successful application for a state-of-the-art fiber-to-the-home network that covers not only this county, but also covers 5 other counties. Thankfully, the county administration, the board of supervisors, and the school board had the forward thinking and support to put together a plan with us several months ago to help us move this application forward. This application in the county specifically will bring fiber to the home to about 11,985 locations, costing approximately $75 million. As mentioned previously, this is part of a larger application. It's a regional application that includes the counties of Amelia County, Bedford County, Campbell County, Charlotte County, and Nottoway County. In total, that application passes 24,000 locations and costs just over $152 million. In conjunction with this VATI award that we just received, RiverStreet Networks is also going to be implementing our CAF2 funding, which was an FCC award that we got a couple years ago, in which we'll be passing an additional 2,412 locations in Pennsylvania County for an approximate cost of $10 million. So to wrap things up, for Pennsylvania County, what we're looking at in the next several years is to pass 14,397 locations at an estimated cost of $85 million in federal, state, county, and RiverStreet funding. This time I'm going to pass it over to the school board.
Thank you, sir. I want to, again, I've done this before, thank the supervisors and RiverStreet for including us in this. I've heard some comments from folks that lead me to believe they don't understand what a big deal this is. But if everything we've lived through in the last 2 years with the pandemic and with students out of school and even businesses struggling, this will make a major difference in this area in our community and our commerce. It affects everybody, and anybody that has any kind of internet service at home now and know how unreliable it is, this will be reliable. And from what I understand, this is just a starting. 11,000 is a starting point. If they get that done in the time frame they've said is going to be amazing to me, but that will lead to more internet down the road for more of our citizens. But especially for our school division, with struggling as we did while kids were out, and this is the areas that need it the worst, it is a big deal for us. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Bob Warren, Chairman of the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors. 2019, it became a mission of that board of supervisors to improve internet access to the unserved areas in Pennsylvania County. We didn't really know in 2019 how in the world we would be able to accomplish this. However, you know, if there's some positives from the pandemic, I think you can check the box that we're at today that this is one of the positive results from the experiences we've had the last 2 years, and the opportunities to partner with RiverStreet and our school system and have a collaborative effort to improve access to the internet. We have and are blessed to have an outstanding school system, but in order for our school system to maintain excellence and be competitive in a global economy, they need access to the internet. And this certainly will assist in that. It will also assist in our economic development projects and moving this county forward. And as Mr. Burton eloquently put, our citizens may not realize exactly how impactful this is to our region, but it may be the most important thing that's happened certainly in the last 20 years here, and what can grow from this access. So we're extremely excited about that, and it once again is evidence of what happens when you have collaboration between the private sector and the public sector, and we're very excited about that and happy to be a part with our school system in both River Street. We also have the press here, and we're certainly willing to take any questions that you all might have and try to answer those. We also have Pittsylvania County Assistant County Administrator Dave Arnold here, who has coordinated a lot of these efforts with River Street Station. If the question gets a little too technical on the school system or county side, we'll reach out to him or Dr. Jones or our superintendent or Mr. Smitherman, our county administrator, is also here. So we'll open it up for questions from you all, and I think we have Caleb here. If you all have any questions, they'll have a microphone for you.
When it comes to broadband being available for folks here, is there any indication right now or any answers that you can give as to how much services may cost, and is there any effort to make it affordable to citizens who may struggle to be able to acquire the services?
We do have pricing already available. If you go to my River Street site, you can go in there and look at our pricing. We have pricing available. One of the things, though, is the cost of internet is being supported by a new program that the federal government's rolling out. It was called EBB, but they just changed it to another acronym, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. But that will actually go to a credit for the individual that qualifies to where they can get a $40 discount off of any net. I think it's either $30 or $40 discount off of any service they might have. In addition to that, we also have some discounts that we offer, especially if you have students that are in the school lunch program. We have discounts there as well. So that is a concern of ours, and there are things in place to help with that as well.
How will you see this grant moving the county forward economically and also educationally?
Well, economically, it certainly opens up other areas for economic development that may not have been accessible for economic development because there was no internet. I mean, there is no industry that I can think of out there now that doesn't need internet in order to function in today's world. To speak to the school system, I'll actually have to give it to Mr. Burton because he will have more particulars about that.
Well, as I said earlier, these areas I go to first will be the ones that we just didn't have service at all in a lot of cases for the students when they were out. But you're talking about industry. There's not a farmer around here that doesn't use the internet now. Even the tractors they operate from time to time needs better internet service and connection. So I can't imagine anything that we're going into in the future that this will not be a positive sign, that we'll have better connections to the internet where people can do what they need to do.
And just a couple other points. One of the benefits that we see, especially because there's fiber, we'll be able to provide download and upload speeds that are symmetrical. And our basic package starts at 100/100. That's 100 megs down, 100 megs up. And I know that there are a lot of young professionals, my daughter and son-in-law included, that work from home. They're both CPAs, and they worked from home. They live in Northern Virginia, but they were able to come down here because we had internet service and be able to work from here. And I can foresee as people start to move out into the global economy, there will be opportunities for people to telework who might have a profession that they can telework and they can live just as easy in Pittsylvania County as opposed to living outside DC to do the same job. The same thing for telehealth. You know, a lot of people experience, myself included, had a doctor's appointment that we had to attend, but we couldn't get in because of the COVID crisis, where the doctor said, if you could remote in, we can do a telehealth, and I can, renew your prescription or whatever it might be. So again, those are two other critical things that this new network will help support, and especially because it's fiber, they'll have as much upload speed as they do download speed to participate in this new work and health environment.
Yeah, and for the county here, with the number of jobs that have been announced over the last few years in economic development and the strides that you've all made in economic development, how much of a tool is this to even continue that momentum and continue that stride to continue to bring jobs to Pittsylvania County in this area here?
Well, again, I think it will be instrumental because one is, as I mentioned earlier, there's no company that doesn't need internet access, but we will also need workforce to fill those needs. And if you don't have quality internet so that you can participate in a lifestyle that folks have become accustomed to now, they're not going to move here and fulfill those jobs. So it will take us to a whole different level in the view of people looking for opportunities and willing to move to a locality if you have internet, certainly that's fiber, because that's just a game changer for our area. So we're extremely excited about that.
And the last one for me here is that, you both mentioned that, you feel as if citizens do not realize how much of a big deal this is for the county and for the area. Is there something that makes you both feel that way as to, why you feel like citizens may not realize that? Is it feedback that you've gotten from citizens, or what is it?
Well, I know for me, I have heard from citizens throughout the county, in particular the unserved areas, that say, I have nothing. So, they can't, a lot of things we take for granted, especially even during the pandemic where you wanted to go online and order your groceries for pickup, or you wanted to do any of those type mechanisms. They didn't have the ability to do that. So I think it's really going to be life-changing, because I think all of us that have internet look back 10 years ago of how we did things, and we can't hardly remember how it was before we had good internet. And now they will be able to experience that, where they've been living behind the times for quite a while. So, even though I have good internet where I live now, I'm very excited about that opportunity being available to all the unserved areas in the county. I think they're going to find it very instrumental to their lifestyle.
And just to piggyback off what he said, like I said, this is a big deal, but why do you think citizens doesn't see this as a big deal?
So let me just give this a personal story. So my mother and father-in-law, we got them broadband in their house probably 3 or 4 years ago. Before they got it, they didn't know what they were missing, right? They hadn't experienced. They didn't have any idea. Now, if I was to go to their house now, which I often do because their router needs to be reset or something's not working, I'm their tech support person, they're not happy if their internet's not working. I mean, they can't do, my father-in-law has gone on virtual tours of the world. I can't tell you how many times using Google Earth or using Google Maps or something else. So it's one of those things, I think, that when people don't have it, they don't realize what they don't have until they get it. And then once they get it, they understand what a total lifestyle change it is. I mean, I can't imagine nowadays living in a bubble in which I want to make a reservation to go to some location I've never been before and not already have checked it out online first to know what hotels do I want to go to, what restaurants do I want to go to, what sightseeing do. I mean, when I was, 20 years ago, if you wanted to go somewhere, when you got there, it was all new. You had never seen it. You might have read some things in a magazine or seen some pictures on the TV or whatever, but nowadays a lot of people have the ability using the internet to predetermine what things they want to do. So again, it's one of those deals, if you don't have it, I don't think you really understand what you're missing out on until you get it.
I'm just going to add to that another story, because it is kind of the fear of the unknown. We didn't have it before, we didn't miss it, and it's a lot of money. This was back in the mid-90s, and it deals with teachers, professional people. We put computers in a new elementary school, and teachers had to learn how to use computers. We had a few that retired early. They were scared to death of it, didn't know what they could do with them. So after their first year of computers, they wanted more and more, and now I don't think our staff could do without computers to teach or operate in the school system. But it's kind of, the unknown. It's, for a lot of folks, we don't know exactly. And I don't think many of us understand how much this will change, especially economic development in our area.
Now I'll just open it up and see if there's anything else that any of you three would like to add.